Hello, and welcome. Today we are talking mindset. So, I'm going to give you the big three mindset shifts that I expect my paid clients to make in order to work with me to build their businesses. So, here's the thing, y'all. In business, mindset is everything. Your mind uses your beliefs to confirm or reject all of the information around you in this world. That's just confirmation bias. This confirmation bias will inevitably determine your results in business. So, a lot of people will give the example of you're driving down the road, you're thinking about buying a red car. Now, all of a sudden, you're seeing red cars on the road all over the place. That's confirmation bias. Your brain filters information in order to confirm or reject the beliefs that you already have in this world. That is why mindset is everything in business. I know this firsthand because when I first started my business, I was exiting a horrible corporate job situation. The circumstances inside that corporate job situation were crazy making. And I had so much mindset work to do in order to be able to run at a high level once I exited that situation. I knew that I needed to be my best self in order to build the business that I wanted to have in this world. So I spent years really doing a ton of mindset work. And these three mindset shifts are actually a result of those years of mindset building in my own life. Many of you guys are on the same boat. So, some of the most common situations that I see us as fitness and wellness and health coaches needing to overcome mentally and physically are lack of self worth. So, believing that our historic level of pay equals our worth in the marketplace. Lack of worth. It's the idea that because we've been at the bottom of the food chain inside the fitness industry, that we can't charge for our services or we can't charge appropriately for our services. Some of the other things that I see are disempowerment, just general disempowerment. Disempowerment because we were trained as employees, because we accepted our roles as kind of what I like to call short order wellness providers, taking orders from clients, letting clients jack around with our schedules, letting clients change appointments on a whim or not show up and not pay us. Disempowerment because of our gender roles, disempowerment because of our station within the organization, just general disempowerment. And then one of the other big ones that I see, so I talked about disempowerment, I talked about lack of worth. The last thing that I see us really needing to overcome mentally and spiritually in order to become high level functioning entrepreneurs is we accept what I like to call the big three caveman thought patterns as inexorable truths without challenging them. I'm going to give you more on that in a second. While I've got you, can you please give me a hashtag live or a hashtag replay so that I can see who's here, who's with me? Give me a little bit of information, not only that you're here, but I would love to hear what you're hoping to get out of today's talk. What are you struggling with in your mindset that keeps you from functioning as the highest level entrepreneur that you can be? So, the three mindset shifts that I teach my paid clients are imperative to building a profitable business that you love running. Remember, I say it all the time. You cannot get to the happy journey if you're not, sorry, you cannot get to the happy ending if you are not living the happy journey. A lot of us think that we have to strive and strive and sacrifice and be miserable in order to get to the happy ending. And I am here to tell you that there is no such thing as an unhappy journey that leads to a happy ending. So, these three mindset shifts that I teach my paid clients are imperative to building a profitable business that you love running because your thoughts will determine your actions going forward. Let me walk you through these shifts in order to empower your business building efforts. This is not just woo woo fluff stuff that we're going to do today. This is the no BS, actionable intel, and the real science behind it. Join me right now. We're going to do the big shifts that will move you. Stay to the end because I'm going to explain to you the big three caveman thoughts and teach you how to recognize and combat those thoughts. Plus, I'm about to leave you feeling empowered, energized, and ready to move forward with the inner and outer confidence that your clients are looking for in their leader. Believe me, y'all, your clients are not buying from you if they don't feel the confidence exuding off of you. All right. First, let me tell you, I'm Kelly Coulter. I built a six-figure marketing agency while teaching fitness on the side. Then in 2020, I became obsessed with helping fitness professionals build their businesses so that they can serve their clients during the pandemic. Now I help coaches just like you build profitable, joyful businesses that change lives by leveraging the work you are already doing every day. I broadcast these episodes live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they are specifically designed to deliver mindset, business, and direct marketing tips that will propel you and your business forward with the ease and confidence you wanted to experience in your business when you got started. Are you ready to go? Let's do this. Okay, so you guys, tell me what is really jibing with you about everything that I've said so far. We've talked so far about confirmation bias. We've talked about the caveman thoughts. I'm about to give you the caveman thoughts and talk you through how to recognize them and turn them around. We have talked about disempowerment. We have talked about lack of confidence. We've talked about lack of worth. I want to hear from you in the comments. What are you feeling the most? Let's talk about the caveman. So, the caveman is a concept I teach often. I used to call it caveman brain or lizard brain. A lot of people will say you've got this primitive part of your brain that's there to keep you safe. Science is kind of saying, hey, there's not really like a structure inside your brain that you would consider the lizard brain or the caveman brain. So don't call it that anymore. I just call it the caveman because regardless of whether or not there is a structure inside your brain that is there to keep you safe, we know that your brain in and of itself is a mechanism that was evolved to keep us safe. So, if you think about this in terms of science, we know that trauma gets stored in our DNA. Science is proving now that trauma gets stored in our DNA. Science is proving that that DNA and that trauma inside that DNA can actually be passed from generation to generation. Generational trauma. Now, the reason that happens is because your brain and your body are huge safety propelling mechanisms. So, caveman put his hand in the fire, got burned. The next caveman did not put his hand in the fire. The next caveman did not put his hand in the fire. And we live to pass on the genes that store the information that keep us safe. I don't want to go too far into DNA, but I want you to recognize the idea that we take our past and we pull it into the present, and in very real ways, your brain is keeping you safe using that safety information from the past. And that's great to a degree. But what it also means is that our present builds our future. So the actions that we take every day right now build our future. So we are actually dragging the past and the information about safety from the past into the present and forward into the future. That's the caveman. So when I talk about the caveman, I'm talking about the thoughts that if we don't combat them with a pattern interrupt, will bring the past into the present and into the future. So the caveman takes over because we seek safety as human beings. So sometimes I'll talk about this in terms of imposter syndrome and how the caveman sneaks in when we are leveling up. Sometimes I'll talk about this in terms of just some other ways. I see a comment coming in that says I'm struggling with my caveman a lot. He's very strong. I want to talk today about something that I haven't ever really talked through in the show before, but it's something I think about a lot. I like to call it the big three thoughts. It's the big three caveman thoughts. So when we are leveling up, there are three kind of emotions that the caveman will rely on in order to come back and keep you safe. So here are the three, I don't know if I would call them emotions or instincts. You guys give me a word for this, but here they are. There's convenience, there's comfort, and then there's intuitiveness. And I'm going to talk through each of those. Those are the big three that the caveman comes at you with in order to pull you back into the cave and get you to suck your thumb and stay safe. As I talk through these, I would love to hear your suggestions on whether or not this is an emotion or if it's a circumstance or what exactly these are. But this is what the caveman's going to come at you with. So let's talk about convenience first. So these thoughts about convenience are thoughts like, I don't have time to. This is too time consuming. How am I supposed to do XYZ when I'm also working full time? Or it's the idea that I can't start my program because I've got this planned and this is happening and these things are happening in my life. So convenience right now is not convenient. I can remember, you guys know I talk all the time about that horrible corporate job I was in and how I was self medicating with food. And I did this long period of time where I was gaining a lot of weight. I was eating too much. I was having too many salted caramel mochas. And that's because I was self medicating with food. And so every day, I would have this reason like, I don't need to eat well today because blah, blah, blah is happening. And I will start tomorrow. That is convenience. So the caveman uses convenience to keep you where you are and keep you safe. I was staying where I was, stuck in that emotional eating pattern because the emotional eating pattern was serving me in some way. It was keeping me safe in some way. In very real ways, I can say that I was exiting the building and going for walking meetings to Starbucks. And I was like fleeing that sense of unsafety that I felt in that job. And I was going outside and getting away from it. So it was like biologically and circumstantially, that's what I was doing. So you can recognize thoughts of convenience as caveman thoughts by examining them and realizing that you're having an urge to deviate from the plan and that it's being sold to you by your brain as a thought to switch or delay. It's a thought that it's not the right time. So it's the urge to switch timelines, even when you have everything already ready to go. So I had meal prepped, I had planned my day so that I wouldn't be going to get the salted caramel mocha. And then I had the urge to switch and say, I'm going to start that tomorrow. I'm going to leave the healthy lunch till tomorrow because today is not the right day. I already had everything ready to go, but today is not the right day. That's the thought of convenience, and that's how the caveman uses it to keep you stuck and keep you safe. The next one is comfort. This is not comfortable. It's the idea that your brain will sell it to you as, I don't want to, or I don't need to, or this isn't right because. So in my Serve Lead Sell Masterclass, I ask people to start conversations. I ask you guys to start conversations with people who could potentially be right for your program. And I will get every reason in the book why that is not something they want to do. I don't want to be direct messaging. I don't like when people do that to me. I don't have time for that. It's discomfort around doing something that you haven't done in the past, or it may even come across as psychosomatic symptoms. So I ask my business builders to go live on social media because it's the best way to connect with your potential future clients. And I will see this invariably. They will schedule their first live on Wednesday at 11 a.m. and then the baby is sick, or they were sick, or they had allergies and their eyes were watering and they just couldn't go live. Psychosomatic symptoms are a real thing. And they're a real thing when you ask yourself to get out of your comfort zone. So here's the thing about comfort. You have to learn to recognize the difference between discomfort that leads to growth, because what got you here will not get you there, versus doing things that are necessary to build your business. So, discomfort that will lead to growth means, yes, you feel uncomfortable. Yes, you've done all the planning. Yes, you're ready to go. Things that you don't like or don't want to be doing, at the end of the day, are the things that aren't productive. You've tried them, they didn't work. You've given them the appropriate amount of time and they didn't work for you. So it's okay to get uncomfortable. It's not okay to give up because of discomfort. That last caveman thought is what I refer to as intuitiveness, because I hear it all the time. Intuitiveness is your brain telling you that doesn't make sense. That doesn't sound right. That isn't going to be the thing that works for me. I'm a special snowflake, and that is not intuitive to me. Here's the thing. What got you here will not get you there. And the things that got you here are the things that are intuitive. On top of that, the things that feel intuitive are the things that 99% of all other people at your stage of business are already doing or are about to try. Rushing into Facebook ads, um, posting about your offer in strange groups, um, th- flyers at the coffee shop. These are comfortable actions that 99% of other people are also trying in order to build their business. But what got you here has been intuitive. Divergent thinkers think differently. So here's what I want you to recognize about those thoughts around intuition or around sense. 90% of the thoughts that your brain will contribute to you about your business by default are wrong. The only thoughts that you can rely on when it comes to building your business are the thoughts that you intentionally think, that you have decided you're going to think, and that you intentionally think. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to offer you three thoughts. And I want you to practice them this week. You're going to write these three thoughts down and I want you to practice them. The first one is this: I am the empowered CEO of my business and I love making the rules. All right. So if you've ever taken the Serve Lead Sell Masterclass from me, you've heard me give a mindset lesson. And I give a mini mindset lesson at the beginning of each of the daily lessons. And the first day, the mindset lesson is around being the CEO. And I like to start it off by saying, no one is coming to save you. We all experienced that during COVID. I don't need to sell the people within the sound of my voice right now on the idea of being an entrepreneur. We all experienced that no one is coming to save you during COVID. We all experienced the idea that there is not an organization out there that is going to pay you when they can't pay themselves. And the only way to true stability is to build it for yourself. So when you say, I am the empowered CEO of my own business and I love making the rules, you're taking control not only of your own future by building your own business, but of your own day to day. Because in very real ways, you now are responsible for making the definition of everything that goes on around you. You make the rules. So you have to decide what things mean to you. What does it mean when I feel uncomfortable? What does the word business mean to me? What emotions am I going to allow to populate in my body when I think about my business, when I think about my clients, when I think about getting leads, when I think about charging an appropriate price? You now have the responsibility of choosing what happens when you think about those things. You now have the responsibility of making the rules. And that's a good thing because I like to say your preferences become your policies when you're the CEO of your business. You get to decide what your schedule is, what your cancellation policy is, what you charge, what you will accept from clients, what you won't accept from clients. But you have to be empowered in order to do it. You are now the empowered CEO of your business. And so I want you to write this thought down and I want you to practice it. I am the empowered CEO of my own business and I love making the rules. I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to let you write that down. You guys, type it into the comments for me. It's good to get your fingers going on these things. And then it's also good to take your hand and actually write it out on paper because both of those things affect the way that your brain fires differently. And your brain will onboard these thoughts differently because of those two actions. So write it in the comments for me. Go ahead. I'm waiting. And then write it down on your paper. I'm not moving on until I see somebody do it. And I know I'm 10 seconds ahead of you guys, so I'm giving it a second. Yes, yes, yes. I see them coming in now. All right. Mindset shift number 2 and the thought that I want you to practice. Here's the thought: I am comfortable with discomfort because I know that my messy action will lead to a win or to learning. I am comfortable with discomfort because I know that taking messy action will lead to a win or will lead to learning. I didn't have that one typed out. I'm typing that one out right now. I'm comfortable with discomfort because I know that messy action will lead to a win or a learn. So here's the thing. I said it a couple times already. What got you here will not get you there. Your brain drags the past into the present and through to the future every day because it is looking for safety. It does not know what having a successful business looks like. It does not know what having a successful business feels like unless you practice feeling what it feels like to have a successful business for you. It does not know what that life is. It knows your current life, it knows your past life. So you're not going to be comfortable with success until you have it. So I am comfortable with discomfort because I know that messy action will lead to a win or a learn is a pattern interrupt. It's a way of telling your brain, okay, we're going to step out of the cave and nobody's going to die. I'm going to take messy action and nobody's going to die. I am comfortable with discomfort because I know that messy action will lead to a win or will lead to a learn. Now, another thing that I say a lot of times when I teach this lesson, oh no, I'm blanking. My mind is blanking. Oh, is that the size of your comfort zone will directly dictate the size of your impact zone and the size of your wealth zone. So, the size of your comfort zone will directly dictate the size of your impact and the size of your wealth. So, we've got to be able to tell our brains that having some level of unsafety is okay. Now, the other thing that you can do with this thought is you can use it as inspiration to start to feel the feelings of a successful business. Your brain does not know the difference between feelings that you've actually felt in the past and feelings that you have manufactured. So, if you were to close your eyes, and please, if you're watching in the replay or if you're watching live, feel free to pause this, close your eyes, and take about 3 minutes to think of your happiest day. Really come into the place where you smell the smells and you see the colors and you feel the feelings and allow that to sit in your body. I want you to do that because I want you to realize that you can manufacture feelings. So now, when I tell you that every morning when you sit at your desk, I want you to take 3 minutes feeling what it feels like to have a successful business. I want you to know that that's truly possible. It's truly possible for you to bring those emotions into your body and grow them. And that's what you're looking for because your body and your brain does not know the difference between an emotion that you've manufactured or an emotion that you have felt in the past. So, what that means is that when you manufacture the feelings of having a successful business, you're actually drawing a map for your brain to that future place without making a long to-do list for yourself. So, we're not talking about actions, we're talking about emotions. All right. So that's number two. I'm uncomfortable with discomfort because I know that messy action will lead to a win or a learn. And then here's number three. You ready? I am comfortable making decisions based on the vision, not based on the current circumstances, because what got me here will not get me there. I'm comfortable making decisions based on the vision, not based on the current circumstances, because what got me here will not get me there. So, this is, I think, the hardest one for a lot of people to swallow. It's the idea of be, do, have. In order to truly have that pattern interrupt for your brain, where you're cutting ties with the safety of the past and stepping into your highest level future, you have to step into the person that you want to be. So, I used to practice a meditation. I need to go back and do this actually. I really loved it so much. There was a meditation on YouTube. I think it was by Michael Seeley, where you envisioned your future self and you envisioned yourself having a conversation with your future self. So, you from 5 years from now, the one that has the successful business that has empowered you to do all the things, that has empowered you to have all the things and be all the things and experience all the things. That person sits down beside you. What do they look like? What do they sound like? What are they wearing? Do they have the same haircut as you? Do they wear their makeup the same as you? Do they have the same jewelry as you? Um do they talk the same as you? We want to step in to that person from 5 years from now and be that person, because that is the person that does the things that need to be done in order to have the successful business that you want to have. Be, do, have. In order to do that, you have to make friends with future you, with highest level you, with best you. Step into being that person. So I am comfortable making decisions based on the vision, not based on the current circumstances. Because my highest level me is the person that has the thing I want to have. All right. That is the big three thoughts. Now, I want to go back and say one more thing before we jump off here. I want to talk about how each of those thoughts that I just contributed to you correspond with the big three caveman thoughts. So I said I am the empowered CEO of my own business and I love making the rules. That one pretty directly correlates with the convenience, because I am empowered. I'm an empowered CEO of my own business and I love making the rules. You no longer have convenience as an issue. It's not a thing anymore. Switching timelines isn't a thing. Switching the plan isn't a thing. We move forward as the empowered CEO of our business. I'm comfortable with discomfort because I know that messy action will lead to a win or a learn. So when you experience discomfort, when you think about what other people will think if you go live, when you think about being afraid and why you're afraid, when you think about the psychosomatic symptoms that pop up when we're about to do something for the first time, we now know that that is a sign that we are leveling up. We now recognize the difference between discomfort that will lead to growth versus doing things, spinning our wheels, going over and over again with things that are not working. And making decisions based on the vision, not based on the current circumstances, almost directly correlates with intuitiveness. Because what got you here was intuitive. What will get you there is not. 90% of the thoughts your brain will contribute by default will be wrong in your business. The divergent thinkers, the ones that think differently, are the ones that get the thing. All right. So, y'all, those are the three thoughts that I've got for you today. Those are the three mindset shifts. If you want to hear this full lesson played out over a week of corresponding actionable business building lessons, I want you to go to learn.fitprosconnect.com. I've got it right here /SLS. So learn.fitprosconnect.com /SLS and buy the Serve Lead Sell Masterclass. It's a $47 investment. It's really nothing in comparison to what you're going to get out of it and what it's going to do for your business. And I go through these mindset shifts in more length at the beginning of each lesson. And then we move on to a lesson that is actionable for you at this stage of business. So it's learn.fitprosconnect.com /SLS. Get over there, get that masterclass. It does come with a one-on-one meeting. And so you get to strategize with me or a member of my team about the next steps in your business. So I want everyone within the sound of my voice to make sure that you have done that masterclass. All right. Y'all, thank you so much for joining me. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please give me a like and then get over to the Grow Your Business for Fitness Instructors, Trainers, and Coaches group, where I lead these lessons every single week. And it's where I spend the most time interacting with my audience, getting to know you guys, giving you all the love in the world. And I would love to see you there. All right. We'll see you soon.